Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the all-new GoPro Max 2. In this video, we aren't going to focus on sensor size or bitrate, but rather how this thing actually handles aggressive mountain biking. We're going to check out the single lens, the 360 mode, and also compare it to the GoPro 12 I've been running. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you need anything for yourself or your ride, check out Jensen USA, GoPro, and the other affiliate links in the description below. Now let's get into it. First off, what's new and what's special? The all-new Max 2 offers 360 video at true 8K resolution. It has interchangeable lenses, which are a big deal. The size just about demolishes the competition. 10-bit color, 180-degree POV shots, audio with 6 mics, as well as the option for a Bluetooth mic, updated cold weather Enduro battery, a bunch of new accessories, and updates to the Quick app make for easy and fast editing. So real quick, here are some shots with different 360 modes as well as the single lens mode. Okay, so now we are using the 360 camera, but only using the one lens. See how this looks. Again, 360 camera, 5.6 or 5.3, I can't remember. Okay. This time with the single lens exposure turned on. Beautiful morning light. Now we're in the 8K. Finally in the 4K, but this allows us to up the frames per second to 90 in the 360 mode, that is. All right, so now we're doing the climb with the GoPro Max 2 in the single lens mode. Shooting in a 4x3 so that I can use it vertically as well as horizontally, but still has the ultra wide lens. So here's the more standard for YouTube 16x9 single lens. This morning's sun is pretty great. Not really sure how it's gonna show up on the camera though, but we'll see how it looks. I've been running the 177 max lens on the 12. So with this camera, you get a slightly wider lens at 180 degrees and the same 4x3 4K at 60 frames per second. Oh, that's a lot of weight. Oh. So for a lot of filming, I'll likely use that, especially for editing and just overall ease of use with both vertical and horizontal shots. Size and interchangeable lenses were another big selling feature. I've scratched a few Max lens mods and they keep getting more expensive. So for 45 to 50 bucks for 2 lenses, that seems pretty good. Size-wise, it is bigger and heavier than the 12. And while not the lightest, it is the most compact of the 360 competition. The image quality I think looks great, but I found that it helps to go down to the 5.6K so that you have 60 frames per second. But I'll get into that more when we talk about editing and the app. My biggest complaint so far is the audio. I just don't think there was really much of an improvement, if any. The Bluetooth mic option is cool, but a little clunky to get going and won't help while you're riding. It's also just time consuming, and the outcome is okay, but nothing special. You can hear it here without the earpods and with. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the GoPro Max 2. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the GoPro Max 2. The next thing to talk about is cold weather and overheating. First, I've heard overheating can be a problem, but let's be real, biking and snowboarding, that's never been an issue, and it still isn't here. Cold though is frustrating. I can say that after this morning's ride, it seems that the battery does pretty well in the cold. I rode for nearly 2 hours and the battery was still above 70%. That's pretty big as it was just above freezing when I started. And I've often had the old Enduro battery die almost before I've started using it at these temps. So I'm going to hold off on extra batteries and see how this thing goes. Finally, let's talk Quick app and editing. First off, the Quick app for your phone works as a remote control from a much greater distance than that GoPro 12 or 11 I had before. On the editing side, the Quick app doesn't work on Mac, but the old man tip here is to use an iPad. Editing in the Quick app is easy, and I'm finding more options all the time. Possibly the most promising reframe is object track. It's not perfect, but I do like that it not only follows, but zooms in and out. Sometimes it does end up blurry, so keyframe may be a better option if that's the case. Also, if you're moving too fast, it can struggle to follow. The other thing to note is that I've heard complaints of its low light performance. I think it's mostly bloggers complaining about trying to film at night, which isn't something I'll do, but it is very dark in the forest around here. These first few days I tried to let the camera do all the work, but have since applied my usual settings based on the GoPro 12 I'd been using before. Now the images don't seem to need brightening up. Keyframe, like I mentioned before, takes a little more time, but also seems promising, and I can zoom in and out more if I'd like. Here's a clip using both object track and keyframe to zoom. Next motion frame, here's a clip using it for the first rider and object track for the second. Obviously the object track works better, so I'm still playing with that one. The POV reframe works especially for steep terrain and riding near a drop-off, but it's a fine line between showing perspective and creating some of the overly done stuff you'll see all over Instagram. Woo! Like I mentioned before, I'll probably use the single lens mode a lot for this stuff, as there's less to edit. So altogether, yeah, the app works pretty great. It can still take longer than I'd like to connect to the camera when you're using it for a viewfinder or reviewing the footage, but it is better. My key takeaway is that yes, the new Max 2 can totally replace the Hero for everyday use and so much more. It'll be cheaper to run if I crash and scratch the lens. I had held off on the 13 because of the change in batteries and the fact that the ultra wide options I use most were not improved. I'm happy I did. I'm not trying to look like a Teletubby or a unicorn, but I do need to get along the pole and try some things out. Stay tuned because I have some good ideas and I'm excited to see if they work. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. I have more videos coming with the LT and that new Fox podium. If you need anything for yourself or your ride, check out Jensen USA, evo.com, Hover Air, and more. Affiliate links are in the description and on my channel's page. Now get out there, go fast, and take chances. See you next week.
Dude, that one's gonna be sick.
Yeah! Whoa!